Today I get to share how I made my newest sheet load of cards. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. Today is January 2026 sheet load of cards hop. So sheet load is something that Call Me Crafty Owl puts out every month. It's a sketch, supply list, cut list, everything you need to help you make a set number of cards. This month it uses 6x6 papers and makes 8 cards. And something special, extra special about this month is that it's a cross collaboration with Kendra's Card Challenge. So Alicia's sketch this month is based off of Kendra's Card Challenge 18, sketch number 15. And then Kendra's Card Challenge 21, which is also releasing today, or there's a hop for that design team today as well. And in KCC 21, Kendra uses a previous sheet load as one of her 15 sketches that she has in her PDF. So it's always kind of fun and heartwarming when different designers work together, support each other, and it's just a fun cross collaboration. So that is the fun and special part about this month's sheet load. There's a playlist linked in the description box below where all the collab team members for the sheet load team are sharing their videos and the sheet loads that they made. It's always fun to see everybody's different takes. So with that being said, let's get into mine. I have pulled a couple sheets from the Follow Your Heart Prints pad from Fun Stamper's Journey for the pattern paper called for in the sketch. And then instead of cardstock for the matting layer, I am actually going to use pattern paper for that as well. I just thought it needed something rather than just white or like a solid color. So I'm cutting these pieces down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So this will just give me like a small 1/8 inch border around the mat and for the card base. And these are making A2 size cards today. So I remember that this was a really tricky one for me to cut in Kendra's Card Challenge. So I actually I took a ruler and pencil and just measured in 2 inches from the top left and then 2 inches from the bottom right. And that is where I'm going to make my first cut. And it was kind of hard for me to see my marks on that pattern. And then I'm going to kind of stack those, which is a suggestion of Call Me Crafty Owl on her sheet load instructions. But I measured down about 3 1/2 on the diagonal there. And then I have a mark 2 inches down from the top right, if all of that makes sense. But that was just the easiest way for me to get the cuts even and the same shape as what the sketch called for. So be sure to watch Call Me Crafty Owl's video linked in the description box below, or her video that's in the hop, because she will have a lot more like tips and tricks on how to make that work as well. When I stamped my sentiment, I saw this little envelope with heart and thought that I needed a little something extra on these cards as well. So I just stamped a bunch of those out, and I'm just doing some basic coloring. I colored the heart red, and then just using like a little gray to kind of add some shading to the envelope, like super simple. And then I'm going to fussy cut that out, and then we'll layer that on the heart. That will be kind of like the focal point, in the space that Alicia had an embellishment on the card sketch. So the sheet loads are a really great way to make a quick batch of cards if you need them. And they can be jumping points, just to kind of get you started, give you an idea on, a card design, or you can follow it to a T. So because I use the directional paper, I am going to have to do some slightly different layouts. So on this first card, I am actually going to have to orient my pattern on the right hand side of the card, of the horizontal card. So the sketch actually calls for it to go on the left, but because if I were using non-directional paper, I could just turn them all and use them all in the same spot on the left. But because I'm using directional, I want to make sure that my envelopes are facing up or pointing up, and so I'm going to have to shift my pieces to work on the card. I was trying to show you that I took some cardstock, ran it through with an embossing, like a polka dot embossing folder, and then die cut some hearts. I don't know if you could even see the embossing on it, but that's going to be kind of like that main focal point. And then we'll layer my little heart envelope on top of that. I have just a basic Happy Valentine's Day sentiment that I had pre-stamped. It is from a Not Too Shabby shop stamp set. I think I showed it to you, but I don't remember. But it's Valentine Gnomes. I don't know if that one's available anymore. It was from a while ago. And then I took some of those leftover strips from my polka dot pattern paper and I'm just going to add those to the insides of all of the cards. So here is the design you saw me make, which is opposite of what the sketch called for. Like this one matches the sketch, but because I used directional paper, I had to kind of shift my paper around so that it was facing up. So I have like the left side, the right, or the right side, the left side, bottom, and then I have two that are oriented at the top. And then I just shifted the other things kind of around that. So here's my take on the SheetLoad. Again, be sure to check out those links in the description box below for how to find out how you can get the SheetLoad and to see all of the other team members and their makes for today. Thank you so much for your time and hope you all have a very crafty day.